Hi, I'm Lenny McAllister, and this is McAllister's Saturday Remix, found exclusively at Politic365.com. When it came to the healthcare reform debate over the last several years, we saw a lot of loyalty from both sides. We saw Tea Party crowds go from hopping mad protesters on April 15th to a force at town hall meetings throughout America in 2009. We saw Democrats stick together, lock out Republicans in their proposals for reform, and piece together historic legislation through the efforts of Senator Reid, former Speaker Pelosi, and a one-time congressman named Stupak. Now that Obamacare has become the paramount domestic achievement for a struggling incumbent president, will we see a similar level of political loyalty soon, since the highest court in the land has decided to hear the merits for or against the individual mandate provision? It is very likely that at some point in 2012, the Supreme Court will settle the legal issue at the highest level. As well, they may have a chance to play a heavy hand in the electing of a president once again. For progressive, this is not quite a replay of the 2000 election where two governor brothers and a legacy vice president sat on opposite ends of a historic court case. For conservatives, it isn't quite the same either, considering that this legal argument is about legislation, not counting votes. Yet, a presidential path will hang in the balance once again, right or wrong, and therefore, it may boil down to political loyalties once again. In 2000, the case leaned towards conservatives and thus reflected the court's slightly conservative lean. With the current 5-4 split in Republican versus Democratic appointees to the bench, it could be the same thing. However, we have to ask this question. If we expect the outcome of the Obamacare Supreme Court case to be determined on politics in any sense, just as the 2000 presidential election case seemed to be, then why do we expect that outcome? If we believe that the Supreme Court will have its hand, somewhat directly, in the narrative for the general election next year, with many thinking that it's going to be a political hand played, don't we have to ask the question, why is this so? When did America stop having unbiased principles, even in the Supreme Court? Listen, people know where I stand as a conservative on the Obamacare individual mandate, but a more important place for us all to stand collectively is where we know justice resides above politics once and for all. Without that place being firmly set in our minds, we can still all have the best legal minds interpreting the Constitution all we want, and yet still, true liberty may die a tragic death in America coming soon. I'm Lenny McAllister. Check out my latest piece on Politic365 this weekend, and tune into CNN Saturday morning every weekend with me, host TJ Holmes, and fellow pundit Maria Cardona at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Central. This is the McAllister's Saturday Remix, found exclusively at Politic365.